chance, and we can continue with some topic like civil victims of the war, and they are, existing in the society with a sort of a different aspect of the life. Ovdje ćemo vidjeti gospođicu, vjerojatno Johana Paul iz Njemačke, koja će imati prezentaciju od 40 minuta. Zatim gospođu Anu Kvezić iz Hrvatske. I onda će se gospođa Nusreta i Sejda opet osvrnuti malo sa par riječi vezano za naš rad, odnosno ovu našu temu. Sada bih zamolila Johanu da nam se pridruži i da prezentira ono što nam je pripremila.
Da, ajde, metnite. Ako joj treba.
Azra, what were you saying? Azra, what have you said?
No, she
No.
for you.
Nije ništa trgovina da sluča. Šta znači?
Prenosi sliku.
Ništa, nije u Srbu.
Malo prije radi.
Malo prije radi nisu.
Nije kako ste podali
Ako osigurač negdje.
Gdje ste osigurač?
Samo osigurač.
Pa nije on je ne, možda je skočio.
Gdje su projekta?
Alo, vidite osigurač njih dva. Ja nešto mislim da vidite osigurač njih dva.
Ima struje u vas.
A kamena ima, pojačalo ima. Koji?
Not for a trial. Maybe it's easier for you for translation, but as you wish, I don't know.
When I listen to you, just say
Okay.
Evo, dolazi.
Okay, finally, we should start.
Kaže preves.
Okay, so
Okay, idemo.
finally that we have resolved all the technical issues.
Konačno smo savladali sve ove tehničke probleme.
Actually, I'm quite nervous to sit here in front of you and to present parts of my research findings to you.
Malo sam nervozna što sam ovdje pred vama da vam predstavim moje istraživanje.
Since what I'm presenting to you is something from an outsider's perspective, while you are the insiders, and what I'm going to talk about is so familiar to many of you.
Jer ono što sam ja istraživala, ja sam to radila kao neko ko dolazi izvana, a vi ste oni koji ste ovdje i koji to bolje znate, pa će vam mnoge ove stvari biti dosta poznate.
So, what I'm going to talk about is the emergence of a new commemoration day, namely the White Armband Day, Dan bijelih traka.
Najviše ću govoriti o tome što se dogodilo da se uspostavi ovaj Dan bijelih traka i taj jednostavno memorijal ili sjećanje na to što se dogodilo.
So this is a commemoration day marked since 6 years already on 31st of May in commemoration of the ethnic cleansing.
I 31. maja svake godine, već 6 godina, se obilježava taj dan kao jedna komemoracija momentu početka etničkog čišćenja ovdje.
So usually I start with presenting some facts, but I think I simply don't need to present that here to you since they are so familiar, and also when it comes to the return process, of which many of you have been like driving forces.
Ovdje su neke činjenice i cifre vezano za etničko čišćenje i za povratak ljudi na ovo područje.
So, 31st of May 1992 represents one of the key dates of what happened in 92. And on that day, the new Bosnian Serb authorities issued a decree on the local radio that demanded all non-Serbs to mark their houses with white flags and to put the white armband around their arms when leaving the house. And this was meant to be kind of a sign of loyalty, but in fact marked them as the other.
To je bio dan kad su tadašnje vlasti na ovom području zatražile preko medija da svi oni koji nisu bili Srbi da obilježe svoje kuće sa bijelim čaršafima i da obilježe sami sebe sa bijelim trakama na svojim tijelima. I to je označilo u stvari u suštini dan kad je počelo etničko čišćenje.
So, as also Nusreta has already been pointing out in the morning, non-Serbs today represent a minority here, and they are still faced with denial of what has happened to them.
I ne-Srbi su jednostavno manjina i na neki način su jednostavno postoji poricanje onoga što se dogodilo i što se zahtijevalo od njih tog dana.
So, in this hostile environment, your presence, your commemorations, and all these relentless efforts in local memory struggles can be considered as kind of resistance and as resistant acts.
Ovo što vi radite u ovom sad trenutku predstavlja jedan akt otpora protiv svega toga što se tada još dešavalo i što još uvijek se poriče.
And therefore I here speak of memory activism as an active fight to change what is happening on the ground and fight for local change.
I ono o čemu ja govorim je jedno otpor vezan za to sjećanje i da se na neki način istina donese na vidjelo.
So, I see White Armband Day and the emergence of White Armband Day as a memory activism which in fact represents one of the most successful civil society campaigns here in Bosnia when it comes to dealing with the past.
Obilježavanje ovog dana bijelih traka smatram jednim od najznačajnijih faza tog otpora i želje da se sjećanje na neki način obnovi na ono što se ovdje događalo. I jedan od najvažnijih građanskih inicijativa u Bosni i Hercegovini na koje mogu da pomislim.
So, I will proceed in the following way. I will first I will shortly introduce the goal of this presentation. This will be followed by an account of how White Armband Day came into being. I then continue with the annual protest marches here in Prijedor, and also how White Armband Day is marked abroad in translocal communities, and in the end try to sum up from a mobilization perspective what is happening.
Prvo ću govoriti na taj način da predstavim šta taj dan i to obilježavanje znači, na koji način se odvija, kako je to utjecalo na javno mnijenje van Bosne i Hercegovine, kako se ono obilježava i koje su sve elementi tog obilježavanja dana.
Maybe just as a quick note.
Jedna napomena.
I try to translate all the slides so that we have them in both languages, English and Bosnian, but the Bosnian version is yet not completely language checked, so if there are still some mistakes, I'm very sorry for that, I apologize.
Najavim da sam ja pokušala da prevedem sve sa engleskog na bosanski jezik, ali ako ima nekakvih nepravilnosti u tom prevođenju, da ne zamjerite, jer nismo imali vremena da skroz pregledamo.
Okay, so today in Republika Srpska, the official commemoration calendar reflects the narrative of the so-called Serbian Defensive Liberation War.
U Republici Srpskoj ovdje imate u stvari i napisano o čemu se radi, da oni proslavljaju u stvari dan oslobođenja.
Možemo li mi malo dopuniti ovdje, ne entitet Republika Srpska, jer mi imamo federaciju Bosne i Hercegovine.
Just to add entity of the
To su dva entiteta, Bosna i Hercegovina kao država. Znači, stalno govoriti Republika Srpska...
da je imitacija države.
Da, znači entitet Republika Srpska.
Da, da su da.
So you can correct in your research this...
Yeah, but this memory...
Je li vidite vi na kraju ovoj prijevod koji vidite? Znači to ne moramo prevoditi sad.
Protivno što je rekla Đeraldina.
Budete raditi svoje istraživanje, eto ako možete tu sugestiju prihvatiti, a mislim da je davajuća, i to je naša realnost i po Daytonu i Bosni, znači entitet Republika Srpska, ne Republika Srpska. Ali Bosna i Hercegovina ima dva entiteta, federaciju. Okay.
Usually I explain that, of course, that the country is divided. It's so important to understand reality. Yeah.
Actually, you understand Bosnian when they speak to you, Johanna? You understand when they speak to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't need to translate.
Usually, not always.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, but so this memory has been challenged, as I say, from below, from the people. So by those who don't find their memories represented in this dominant narrative.
This is written there.
Yeah, they are reading.
We are reading translation.
Okay. Yeah. So. Returnees have developed their own commemorations that are not recognized by the local authorities, and yeah, I mean, one of them we have all been there together today. And it seems that more recently there is a new date entering this commemoration calendar. And yeah, so having a closer look from a mobilization perspective, I tried to trace the following questions. How was it possible that that the social media campaign, which was launched within a very short period of time, could lead to the emergence of a completely new commemoration day related to the war crimes in Prijedor? And I therefore focus on three more precise questions, namely, what were the underlying conditions that motivated this campaign? On which resources did the organizers draw? And finally, which role do translocal communities play?
Samo malo.
Samo malo.
Još malo.
So yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah. So which role do translocal communities of Rio-Chani, so those that are now today living abroad, play within commemorating Dan Bielutraka? Yeah, so let me start to give an account of how this day came into being. 2012 represented a very important year. It was the 20th anniversary, and in order to commemorate this year, a committee was formed which brought many local associations together to organize a program. And Sitzum Domira, as you all know, was one of the participating organizations in the committee. Yeah, so the program was organized, called Genocide in Priedo, 20 years, Genocide in Priedo, 20 And I would only like to highlight 2 points which are quite interesting in this part, namely that there have also been commemorations abroad with exhibitions, with book promotions and so on to mark this particular year.
Nekoliko komemoracija posvećenih sjećanja na patnju nedužnih žena i djece koja su patila od politike i sistemske diskriminacije. To mi nešto nije tu jasno. Patila od politike. Sistemske diskriminacije.
Višak. Samo višak je politike. Sistemske diskriminacije.
Ali patila, riječ patila. To je već nešto malo blaže od ono što su radili.
Pa koja bi bolja bila riječ u ovom kontekstu?
Stradali.
Ugrožena ili...
Stradali.
Pa stradali su, nisu bili ugroženi. Oni su, ljudi su ubijeni.
Ubijeni, silovani.
Da. Ta riječ i ta...
Žrtve politike.
Koje su bili žrtve?
Žrtve, ja.
Sam patila...
Žrtve, ali su bili...
Victimized. Victimized je dovoljno.
Koji
su bili žrtve?
Da.
I žrtva može biti njena ili koja je silna.
Okay.
So instead of
Later you should improve.
Victimized, if it is clear for you.
Yeah, but
Should improve. It's not policy. It's they didn't suffer. They were victims of such kind of policy.
they have been targeted as
That's something
Koja
more
su bila
Da, može biti onaj koji je poginuo, a i onaj koji je ostao živ, ali je patio.
Ali ako dodaš ovu rečenicu koja su bile žrtve politike sistemske diskriminacije, onda ima smisla.
Onda nema patije.
Da, to patila je samo višak. A se stavi žrtve.
Je li tako? Victimized is the right word. Ana?
Yes,
Ana?
were victims.
Ne znam ja.
No, they were victims of such kind of policy.
Okay.
Not suffer.
Continue.
They were victims.
Tu ispravno. Pa dobro, sve.
Okay, improve.
So you know what to correct. Ne, dobro je, dobro je.
so. Yeah, maybe to finish this last point again. So yes, there were many commemorations that were also dedicated to the 266 women and girls that have been killed during the war. Yeah. So within this program, what was planned was a public commemoration on 23rd of May, which, as you know, was the attack on civilians when it began. However, and yeah, this was a commemoration in remembrance of the 266 women and children, the girls. And however, this commemoration was banned by the local authorities. Why? Because by using the word genocide for what happened, they would allegedly harm inter-ethnic relations and shed a negative light on Theodore and threaten local level economic development. That's what the authorities said. Mark Bouch.
That's only excuse.
Yeah. So what happened next? The story of White Armband Day usually starts with this picture. And it was posted on Facebook, and the story usually goes like that. So in 2012, for the first time since he was expelled, Ame Hodges returned from New Zealand. And so on that day when the commemoration was supposed to take place, he went out on the main square of Prijedor, and he stood there in silence for 20 minutes with a white armband and a white body bag lying in front of him. Yeah, what motivated him to do?
Ono što je njega motivisalo da to uradi...
Koga?
On je ovdje došao i da pokaže, da na neki način da oda počast tom momentu. Zato je stajao na glavnom trgu i napravljen je spomenik tom momentu.
So, what motivated him to do so was the disbelief and the outrage of the ban and his recent experience of being denied access to the Omarska concentration camp site.
To je jednostavno jedan veliki izraz protesta što mu je bilo onemogućeno da ode posjetiti i ova mjesta zlostavljanja u Omarskoj i ostalim mjestima.
So, standing there, he was actually hoping that someone may approach him and ask what he was doing, but no one approached him.
On je jednostavno očekivao da će mu neko prići i pitati ga šta se može učiniti, ali niko nije došao.
So, in this way, he was able to show that the victims are neither seen nor heard in Prijedor.
I time je u stvari pokazao da se glas Prijedorčana u stvari ne čuje.
So, in a solidary act of civil disobedience and of...
To je bio jedan akt jednostavno građanske neposlušnosti.
And the conscious appropriation of the symbol that stands for the continued injustice and discrimination.
I kao simbol jedne kontinuirane nepravde koja se nastavlja.
So he did what the activists were forbidden to do.
I on je uradio ono što u stvari oni koji su to uradili zabranjuju da se pokaže.
So, however, the activists were determined to continue.
Aktivisti su bili odlučni da nastave s ovim ovakvim performansima.
So they sought for ways to find support from outside of Prijedor and to take the mobilization to a higher level in order to create pressure on the local authorities.
I cilj je da se što više uključi i izvan Prijedora zajednica, da na neki način natjera zvaničnike da nešto učine.
So immediately after the ban was issued, they decided for staging a protest and to launch a social media campaign, Stop Genocide Denial, to make 31st of May International White Armband.
Oni su nastavili kampanju da se jednostavno o genocidu još više priča i da se na neki način on prizna.
So they created a Facebook page with the name Stop Genocide Denial.
Stvorili su i stranicu na Facebooku koja se zove Prestanite sa genocidom, sa poricanjem genocida.
And disseminated a call for support in their struggle against discrimination and for victims' rights and dignity.
I vratite poštovanje žrtvama i prestanite sa poricanjem.
So they mobilized people from all around the world to join the campaign.
Mobilizirali su ljude cijelog svijeta da se priključe kampanji.
By wearing the white armband and sending photographs of their actions to the organizers, to post it on Facebook, to send it to the local authorities and so on.
Tako da su ljudi širom svijeta stavljali bijele trake, snimali to i onda slali vlastima ovdje.
And this campaign was amazingly successful.
Ova kampanja je iznenađujuće bila uspješna.
So on the Global Action Day, supporters from indeed all over the world joined the initiative.
Stvorena je jedna inicijativa globalna za obilježavanje ovog dana.
And public actions took place in several places in and outside of Bosnia.
I javne akcije su se u nekoliko mjesta van Bosne obilježavale.
So by May 31st, within only a couple of days, the Facebook page already had like 5,000 members from 46 countries, and it included messages of solidarity, reports of actions, and explanations why people support the campaign.
I u nekoliko dana ova Facebook stranica dobila je preko 5.000 simpatizera i dobila je u nekih 40 zemalja.
And we can say that in this way, this Facebook page itself turned into a memorial.
Tako da je i sama Facebook stranica na neki način postala jedno sjećanje, jedno obilježavanje kao jedan memorijal.
So, in the following years then, since 2013, so now already 5 years in a row, victims' families and activists walked through Pajero on the 31st of May.
Već 5 godina, zahvaljujući ovim akcijama, Prijedorčani dolaze 31. maja iz cijelog svijeta da obilježavaju dan sjećanja i akcije su sve veće.
So I would like to flesh out some aspects that show why this campaign is so meaningful and how the marking of this date is established on the local level.
Želim naglasiti nekoliko stvari zbog kojih su ove akcije izuzetno važne i koliko imaju značaja.
So when the people took the streets for the first time,
kad su ljudi prvi put izašli na ulice,
something really unique had happened in Bosnia.
Nešto se zaista zanimljivo dogodilo u Bosni.
So people were following the initiative, the call by the initiative Jem se tiče, which is usually translated into because it concerns me. People were following the call by Jem se tiče. Jem se tiče.
Jerme se
tiče.
Jerme se tiče, I thought it was a name. I thought she was speaking in English. Znači, to je naziv kampanje Jerme se tiče. Because it means to me.
Ili tiče me se, ali eto Jerme se tiče.
Jerme se tiče je malo nezgodan.
Zato što mislim.
Jem se tiče is an initiative around which young people from all ethnic backgrounds gather.
Inicijativa koju prihvataju mladi ljudi iz svih etničkih skupina.
So this initiative was founded by Emir Hodžić and some people from...
Emir Hodžić je to počeo I još neki njegovi drugari.
Some activists from Prijedor's Youth Club.
I aktivisti iz Prijedorskog kluba mladih.
And since many of them are identified as Serbs, it was so important, so meaningful when they joined the protest.
A pogotovo je to značajno što među njima ima dosta mladih Srba koji su se priključili tom protestu.
So they were successful in overcoming these ethnic barriers, so to say.
Znači bilo je uspjeha u tom prevazilaženju tih etničkih barijera.
So when they put on the white armband and demanded the mayor to acknowledge the crimes and supported the victims' families and local organizations in their demand for a memorial, it really represented a turning point on the way towards a culture of memory.
Onog momenta kad su oni stavili bijele trake I kad su zahtijevali od gradonačelnika da na neki način prizna to što se dogodilo I da utiče na lokalne vlasti da se promijeni, to je tada postalo zaista nešto konkretno.
So during the protest walks, participants usually gather at the main square where speeches are held and 102 roses with the names of the killed children are laid down in a circle.
Obično se obave I određeni govori, okuplja se na javnim trgovima, 102 cvijeta se donesu na glavni trg kao sjećanje na 102 djece koji su bili ubijeni.
So this is a very nice symbolic act, and so instead of a permanent memorial, which does not exist so far, they create a memorial for one day.
Na taj način ovo je simbolično, oni stvaraju jedan spomenik pokretni, jedan koji se stalno ponavlja, zato što još uvijek nema stalnog spomenika I obilježja tim stradanjima.
And there are also other artful ways of trying to commemorate this day. So for instance, once there have been those Lego cubes with the names of the killed children written in Latin and also Cyrillic alphabet.
Postoji drugi načini i vidovi kako se ovo sjećanje može obnoviti. Jedna je pokušaj bio i sa Lego kockicama na kojima su ispisana imena djece koja su stradala i to na latinici i na ćirilici.
And as a last point that is important to mention when it comes